Good morning, Justin. The first thing I want to ask you, I'm going to give you on this show, Keyshawn, J. Williams, and Zubin Mehenti, a direct line to Big Ten Commissioner Kevin Warren, the NCAA's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Brian Hanline, and your own athletic director, Gene Smith. If any of those people are listening, what do you want to say to them right now?
My biggest message to them would just to get them to realize how bad our players want to play, and just the guys that have come back for their fifth year, sixth year, come back off of injury. I think that we owe it to those guys the most. I've just seen behind the scenes and all the work that they've put in and how much they really care about it. And I also believe all the coaches and all the parents, players want us to play, and they all feel safe with the guidelines Ohio State has set. So I just think that's the biggest message I'd like to get out to them.
Justin, how did you decide to put out the hashtag we want to play petition?
So it's a little movement by a bunch of college football players. So I talked to Trevor not too long ago, Trevor Lawrence, about this movement, and it was really just a movement we wanted to get behind and just get college football unified and kind of just get a big movement going. So we just have one voice and we have one, I guess, name, sort of say. So we just kind of wanted to come together and just have a voice, so we would so the people who are making decisions can hear our voice, and we can, I guess, talk to them and communicate with them.
Justin, I love the way you lead. And as you know, leaders sometimes have to answer some pretty difficult questions. So I have a difficult question for you. We don't have a lot of long-term data on what happens with COVID. So say in 3 or 4 years from now, you have some kind of prolonging lung issue. Will it be worth the risk for you to play this season if you don't have that data, if you can't answer those type of questions? How do you evaluate that?
I think COVID brings a risk to everybody, but a question that I'd like to ask you is, would we be more safe on campus playing football or off campus, just doing whatever? I think COVID, you can contract it anywhere in the store, but me personally, I feel more safer at the facility around my teammates, knowing my teammates are going to get tested twice a week. And that's kind of the safest environment for me and my teammates, in my opinion. So I would have to argue that being at the facility for me and my teammates are more safer than just being out and about in the community.
Justin, why is this petition so important to you, given the fact that you're probably going to be projected as a first-round pick in next April's draft? Why get involved in it at all right now?
Really just my love for the game, my love for college football, and my love for my teammates in Ohio State. I've seen the guys, like I said, battle back from injuries, and I've seen how hard our coaches have fought for us to play. So really just for them, and just my love for the game.
Justin, I just want to commend you real quick. That question I asked, that's a really hard question. That's a question that a lot of people are struggling with as far as sending their kids to school and things of that sort. And I commend you for the way you lead. How are you and other star players staying aligned for, We Are United and things of that sort as it relates to, being firm and, actually understanding that you guys are the product on the field?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just think we're finally now realizing how big of a voice we have. And I think, COVID and delaying the season or canceling the season, I think that hasn't sit well on a lot of, college football players around the country. So I think this situation is not only making us realize that we have a voice in college football, but it's also bringing us together in terms of, making one voice and becoming more powerful together. And that's shown, I guess, over the past few weeks or so across social media. So I think it's a great thing.
Justin, how do you think how do you feel the conference handled the decision, the council? Would you have rather them wait like the SEC, the ACC, and the Big 12 to make that decision?
Yeah, I think if the SEC, ACC, and Big 12 all think that they can have a, season safely, then I don't see any reason why the Big Ten couldn't do the same. Like I said earlier, I think what we're doing at Ohio State is very safe, and I think if we can get everybody on the same track in the conference, I think that'll be a safe way to actually conduct the season.
We are being joined by Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields on Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mehenti here on ESPN Radio. I know Coach Day has been just as fervent about wanting to play as you have, your head coach Ryan Day. What kind of conversations have you guys had recently, Justin?
The last conversation I had was with him was pretty much about, like, you know, that he's fought for us very hard for us to play the season, and you know, our athletic director Gene Smith has also fought very hard. But I haven't really talked to him about the petition. It was kind of a thing that was you know, just self-inflicted. But I just know Coach Day and all of our coaches have been pretty much fighting for us to play. You know, whether it's in the spring, whether it's in the fall. I just know that they've been putting countless hours into, you know, phone calls and just talking to everyone they can to just, you know, have a season. So I know it's important to him, and it's definitely important to the players. So that's just what we want to see done right now.
A lot of people are talking about player safety. Can you give us some insight into what some of the protocols are in place at Ohio State that makes you feel that way?
Yeah, so right now we're on a schedule to get tested twice a week. So those days are usually Mondays and Thursdays, and usually when we're in the building, we have to wear a mask. The only times we don't wear a mask is, of course, during practice and when we're working out. But during meetings, during when you're walking around the hallway, you have to have a mask on at all times. And right when we get in the building, they check our temperature, and then they ask us a list of questions to see if we've been around anybody who we think has had COVID or recently have had COVID. So I think just, you know, all of those things that we have to go through and that whole process that we have to go through, I think it really just brings a sense of security around everyone, and I think everybody feels safe there.
Justin, we know how you feel about playing. How has the reaction been with other players, though?
The players, of course, they see the movement and they, I guess, encourage it. But what they really want to see is just a season happen. I mean, it's just, I think it really hasn't hit the players that we're not playing. But I think if we're sitting at home, you know, watching the other conferences play, I think that's going to hit somewhere down deep. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't hurt that much until, like, you realize that you're not playing. But I think the players don't realize how much it's going to affect them once they see other conferences and other schools playing, and we're just sitting at home.
Do you think
not doing anything?
Justin, I know that you guys want to play and everything, but don't you think the argument right now should be about not only your safety and your health, but also your name, likeness, and image, and getting the money and not being treated like professional athletes and not being paid?
I think that is another big conversation, but you know, for me right now, that's not really on the top of my list. The top of my list has always been playing football. So name, image, and likeness. You know, when I came to play college football, I knew that wasn't going to happen. Of course, times are changing now, and there might be guys out there that need to support my family, but my family and I, we've been financially stable for my whole life. So really the biggest thing for me is just to be able to play the game I love, and that's really just my main concern right now.